Why do I put the tuner on my tracks? For example, I'll show you how my default set goes. When I add an audio track, Command T. By default, an audio track in Ableton has nothing on it. What I do is I have every audio track default with a utility, an EQ8, and a tuner. The reason I have the utility, because I don't like to play with the fader levels all the time. You have more control using the gain in a utility. You got 35 decibels up and all the way down. On a channel fader, you only have 6 decibels up and all the way down. If I want to automate the volume for some reason, utility is great because you can automate it without having to automate your channel. For me, it just adds more control. The reason I have an EQ is because I always use EQ. And make sure that by default, you have oversampling on to get the best possible quality out of your EQ. The reason I keep a tuner on it is because if I load a one-shot or 808 sample, I want to know what the tune is right off the bat. So that's my default audio track. And the way you do that is you can add any plugins you want on an audio track or MIDI track. Then what you do is you right-click that track and click Save as Default Audio Track. What that does is now every time you add a new audio track, whatever plugins you put on it are gonna be default every time you load it. For a MIDI track, I do the same thing, but I also have a simpler. What's amazing about that is now I can just quickly load a one-shot. I'm gonna go to Drums That Knock, Volume 9, hover over an 808, hit enter, and it's loaded into the simpler. By default, every time I load a MIDI track, I have a simpler to quickly load a sound into. It keeps it on brand new projects, so anytime you add a new track, it's gonna have all that.